After over a year and a half, we finally made it through. After all this time, we have finally made it to the final Land Before Time sequel, The Land Before Time 14, Journey of the Brave. It's been quite a long ride, guys. 14 movies. Technically 13 if you want to get technical, but yeah. I have reviewed so far every single movie in this franchise except for this one. And it is time to finally check this off the bucket list. Not that reviewing Land Before Time 14 is on a bucket list, but hey, gotta get it through somehow, right? Oh man. I mean, on the one hand, I'm really happy to be done with the Land Before Time series. But on the other hand, I'm kind of upset because this has been such a huge part of my YouTube channel and everything like that. And it's gonna be kind of sad to say goodbye to it. But damn, am I happy too. It's like sending a kid off to college. It's like you're sad to see him go, but at the same time, oh, get the hell out of my house so I can party again. So, enough games, enough bullshitting around. Let's get started. In 2007, we got a movie called The Wisdom of Friends. A movie that was awful, and it was supposed to be the end of the franchise. But in 2016, Universal decided to make one more for old time's sake. And by old time's sake, they mean that Jurassic World came out and they thought, hey, dinosaurs are popular again, so we gotta bank off that. So, that being said, this is the final, and hopefully absolutely final, Land Before Time sequel, Journey of the Brave. Let's finish this. Now, before the movie begins, I have to ask the serious question. Who was this movie made for? I mean, for real. Is it for fans of the original movie? No, they hate the sequels. Even Don Bluth himself admitted he hates these sequels. So, is it for fans of those who grew up with the sequels? Well, no. I was born in 94, the same year the first sequel came out, the second movie. And by the time the last movie came out, Wisdom of Friends, I was 13. I was getting a little too old for these movies, and as a result, yeah, you can kind of argue people who were growing up with the sequels were also getting too old for them, so yeah, not many people are feeling nostalgic over these. Plus, they were getting worse and worse over time, so again, people were kind of glad to see them go. So, was it for little kids? Again, I don't think so, because they've never watched Land Before Time. At least, I'm sure most of them have never seen the sequels anyway, or I mean, hell, I'd want my kid to watch the original, and that'd be about it. So, to jump in at the 14th movie doesn't seem like a good idea. So the question still remains, who was this movie made for? Okay, so the movie has no direct audience whatsoever, but whatever, we gotta watch this thing. So the movie begins with a brief catch-up on the Land Before Time series as a whole.
The perils of the world had claimed his mother and separated him from his father. Littlefoot and his father Bronn were reunited. During the time they were apart, Bronn had become the leader of a large migrating herd.
And apparently has no idea how the series works. Like, guys, did you watch any of these sequels before? Did you watch the 10th one? I did. I watched all of these. Bronn's herd is a herd of long necks. That's it. No three horns, no swimmers, just long necks. I mean, okay, if they want to be racially diverse or whatever, that's fine. But I'd like some establishment that Bronn decided to start being racially diverse with his herd. Just saying.
Bronn wanted his son to join him, and Littlefoot wanted to be with his father. But he also didn't want to leave his home.
Hey, wait a minute! Where's Shorty? Where's Shorty? Yeah, remember Littlefoot's stepbrother, which they kind of made a bit of a big deal of in the 10th movie? You guys didn't watch any of the sequels, did you? You decided just for the sake of writing a brand new one, just to start from the ground up, huh? So I guess Shorty's just been completely retconned? Yeah, okay. Good to know.
You can't find me.
Oh great! Chomper and Ruby are back from the TV show. Which again begs the question, how did Chomper get off that island? Also, who the hell is Ruby? Where'd she come from? Why is she here? Why is she babysitting Chomper anyway? Because, like, I already made the joke in the show, like, your choice, bitch. But, again, like, why is she here? Like, the movie could have given us a good reason.
Come on, Littlefoot. We're playing hide from the Sharptooth.
Gee, kind of racist making the Sharptooth, don't you think, Ruby? It's like going up to the Jewish kid and being like, okay, kids, we're playing Holocaust. Who wants to be the victim? Aw, Harold, I see you hiding over there. You're getting the chamber.
Mr. Threehorn, is Sarah around?
She's gone to the swimming hole. What's the hurry?
What the fuck? What the hell's wrong with his voice? Okay, for those who don't know, the original voice actor for Topsy, John Ingle, unfortunately passed away in between movies. So as a result, they, of course, had to find someone to replace him. That being said, the guy they got to replace him sounds nothing like him whatsoever. It does not fit. Like trying to shove a box of Oreos up your butthole. Oh good, a song. Just what I wanted to hear. Well, at least we're getting them over with quickly.
I feel so happy that I gotta say, hey, 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 today is the day.
I'm not too sure. I think I prefer this version of the day. Now that is an opening song I can rock out to.
Hey, 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 today's the day when I'm gonna blow that rock away.
Okay, we get it. Nothing's happening. Moving on. So it turns out Ducky and Spike are waiting for the new brothers and sisters to hatch out of their eggs. And hey, wait a minute. Where's the mom? Shouldn't the mom be here for this? All these new babies are about to hatch. Shouldn't this be like a big moment for the mom? I mean, okay, forget the fact that Ducky never really had a dad except for in the first movie. So now we're having a number 12 situation here with the stepdad now, which we never meet, or... Yeah, that never gets addressed or even looked at, so it's like... This is all pointless, isn't it?
Today? I forgot! Today's the day my dad comes back! Can we go watch for him?
Nah, I thought you might want to.
Jesus Christ! That is even worse than Topsy! Oh my god, that doesn't even sound remotely close to the original voice actor. Okay, so for those who don't know, the original voice actor for Grandpa, Kenneth Mars, also unfortunately passed away in between movies, and again, they have to replace him. He's a big part of the story, I understand that. But man, they didn't even attempt. They did not even attempt to try and find a voice that sounds like Kenneth Mars. They found the first old guy that sounded like an old man and just says, yep, you're him. Just get in there. Get in that booth and just say the lines, you old man. So after trying to get comfortable with Grandpa's new voice, emphasis on the word trying, he and Littlefoot go to watch out for Bronze Herd.
But where's my dad? I don't see him.
That is strange. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about.
There's something to worry about, isn't there? Actually, it turns out the thing to worry about is this smug asshole known as Wild Arms. And yes, that is in fact his name. Why is he named Wild Arms? I don't know, other than the fact that he is a fucking schizophrenic, apparently, having to wave his arms around every chance he gets. I think it's supposed to be a joke, which honestly wouldn't surprise me, given the fact that all this guy does is bad stand-up.
Someone pinch me, please. No, not you. No, not you. I'll pinch myself. Ow! Ouch. Why did I do that? Everybody calls me Wild Arms, though I never really figured out why. Oh, that makes so much sense now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hate you. Probably not as much as the Yellow Bellies, but I'm still gonna hate you a fair amount.
It all started with a horrible BOOM! The fire mountain exploded! It just blew its top!
Huh. Looks like the franchise finally got sick of Earthshakes and decided to finally shake things up a bit with a volcanic eruption. Glad to see they're mixing things up.
What happened to him?
I don't know. I lost sight of him at the fire mountain. So, you want me to take you across the Earthbreak, through the land of the Featherhead Sharptooth, along the moving water, back to the same fire mountain that I just escaped from? How foolish do you think I look?
Oh great! Not only is Wild Arms unfunny, he's also kind of an asshole! Also, Littlefoot, why are you asking for Wild Arms' help when you have an entire herd right behind him that you could ask? Literally, I think you can ask any one of those random characters in the background, and I think we prefer it, because honestly, fuck Wild Arms, he's a bit of an asshole. So, because Bron is in trouble, Littlefoot, of course, wants to go save him. But his grandparents say that it's too dangerous and they have to wait. Littlefoot, you must go to the Dagobah system. There you will find Yoda, the Jedi Master who instructed me. Sorry, I'm so sick of this franchise, I want to go watch a good one.
I think he's in trouble. He needs me. What can you do?
Same thing we do in every movie, Ducky. Try to take over the world! I mean, just ignore our parents and do what we want.
If you think we're going to the Fire Mountain...
I don't. He's my father. I'm going alone.
Okay, so we know Littlefoot's friends are going to follow him. We know that Littlefoot's going to accept their help one way or another. How long does it take? Okay, about 60 seconds? Yeah, that means he could have just accepted their help from the beginning and we could have saved the whole minute. It may not seem like much, but yeah, the more pointless shit you have in your movie, the more it gets noticeable. And trust me, there's a lot of filler in this movie. So Littlefoot and his friends go on their adventure to find Bronn and rescue him when they come across a gorge.
Oh, looking down make Petrie dizzy.
You're a flyer. The fuck?
Look out!
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. Sarah is not that strong. So after crossing the gorge, Littlefoot and his friends soon realize that they're crossing into the land of the feather-headed Sharptooth. Okay, wait a minute! They know what feathers are now? What the fuck? I remember in the 12th movie, they made a big deal about what was on Guido's body. They didn't know what feathers were, but now they do? Like, movie, can you try and say just a little consistent with the other sequels? I mean, like, shit. So while trying to figure out a way to cross the land of the feather-headed Sharptooth unnoticed, Spike gets bored, leading to my personal favorite moment of the movie.
There you are. Spike, we don't have time for this. My dad needs me. No more food stops, okay?
Spike don't give a fuck about your dad, Littlefoot! Your dad could be getting fucked by Daddy Derek himself, and he still wouldn't give a fuck. You know why? Because Spike don't give a fuck! Unfortunately, they have to ruin the moment by playing a song over it. And what's the song about?
We know that you are happy when you fill up your tummy, but what you are eating now is not so yummy. No, it is hot and stinky.
Telling Spike to actually give a fuck for once. And with that being said, I already hate it. A lot. Almost as much as Wild Arms. But of course, this does lead to the idea of them covering themselves up with stinkweed, that way they can mask their scent and cross the valley of the feather-headed Sharptooth completely unnoticed. But when Petrie opens his big fucking mouth, he almost blows their cover. Well, gee, that was kind of convenient. Almost like the stinkweed didn't really matter. In fact, you can argue it doesn't matter. You wanna know why? Because everyone decides to be dicks and go for a swim.
Littlefoot go for swim. I want to swim.
No, Sarah.
Me too.
I mean, okay. Maybe Petrie, Ducky, and Spike are just being stupid for some reason. But Sarah is just being a dick now, alright? Throughout this entire journey, she's done nothing but bitch and complain and mope about everything. Even though she wanted to come with Littlefoot, she volunteered to go with Littlefoot, and she knows that his dad is in danger. So she's aware of the consequences should their mission fail. And yet here she is, openly saying, I want to go swim, even though she knows that they don't have the fucking time for it. Again, you can argue that Ducky, Petrie, and Spike are in the same boat as her, or they're just really stupid for some reason, even though they've never been this stupid before. But Sarah's just doing this literally to piss off Littlefoot. But it works out because guess what? They get fucking caught. Okay, if Sarah gets eaten here, I will be perfectly fine with that because she's been nothing but a stuck-up cunt this entire trip. Good job, animators. Yeah, that didn't look really shitty at all. God, just look at the 3D animation. It just pops into the frame. And you can tell there's like no difference to the background whatsoever. I mean, this is why I hate seeing 3D animation and 2D animation together. I mean, okay, if a movie can do it really well, like in, say, the ballroom scene from Beauty and the Beast or Treasure Planet and stuff like that, I'm fine with it because it looks fucking great. In fact, more power to them because they made it look so good. But movies like this just shoehorn the 3D animation in there because they're lazy. It sucks. It looks awful. Fuck. Speaking of the animation, why are the backgrounds drawn like that? Like, they look like the kind of buildings that you see etched inside mountainsides and stuff like that. Like, gee, I didn't know that kind of stuff existed during the dinosaur times. Get your shit together, animators.
We're trapped! We should have gone my way!
Like, bitch, this is all your fucking fault. Shut up. Oh, look at that. How convenient. A random vine just happens to be laying there. I hear a callback to the second movie. Remember that?
The other one is coming! Let him come.
Now, normally I'd be happy that another character is getting some spotlight since this is yet another movie about Littlefoot, but Sarah's been a complete bitch this entire time, so yeah, no, fuck her. Fuck her, Victory. I hope she got eaten. In fact, I want everybody to be eaten because, blame all Sarah. Put me in a fucking sour mood. Everybody get eaten. Except Spike. Spike's cool. So we cut back to Chomper and Ruby because the movie has to acknowledge that they exist, and it's around this time the grown-ups are soon realizing the kids left again.
Littlefoot isn't here, and Sarah should be home by now, too.
I suspect the young ones have gone looking for Littlefoot's father.
Sarah, too? What was she thinking?
Oh my god, that's... God, those voices! I mean, I know I already talked about it, but god, it's just such a weird problem. Like, it's just... It's so recurrent. Like, it's just every time they open their mouth, it's like, yeah, that's not them. It can't be them, and I will never accept them as them. Thank God this is the last one. Otherwise, that would never stop being a problem. That would just constantly ruin it for me.
Thankfully, there's some light from the night circle. We'll leave now. I'll ask Wild Arms to guide us.
Oh, come on. You can't be serious. No! Why Wild Arms? Why him? You have, like, an entire herd that you can question that's just as valuable, if not even more so, than he is.
Okay, guys, I'm sure you can find the Fire Mountain without me. I mean, I'd love to come, but, I got a thing to do, and it's called live.
Oh my god, he's an even bigger bitch than Sarah is right now. I mean, for fuck's sake, at least Sarah's gonna learn a lesson by the end of this movie, but Wild Arms here has no redeeming qualities to his character whatsoever. We even find out later that it's his fault why Braun got left behind in the first place. But does he have any regrets? No. Does he want to try and make it better or help save Braun anyway? No. He doesn't give any fucks whatsoever. And not in a cool way like Spike, more like a dickish way like Gary from Sahara.
Okay, do I need to remind you two that if you had dropped me off like I told you to,
Shut up!
So it's around this point where Chomper and Ruby are discovered. As it turns out, they follow Grandpa Longneck and Topsy here. They gotta be here for some reason. Might as well be for this.
We don't need another Sharptooth when we're walking into a whole land of sharp teeth.
Oh, finally! Someone who's sensible! Up top!
Yeah, because they totally had high fives back in the time of the dinosaurs.
Hey, Mr. Wild Arms.
The best thing that happened in this movie so far, next to the scene where Spike didn't give a fuck. That scene was awesome. So hey, do you remember that scene in the 13th movie where they stood on the edge of that rock and they slid down it and they almost died from that? Well, we're gonna do that again.
Nice going, Littlefoot.
Me? I told you not to come up there.
None of this would have happened if we went through the Long Valley like I said.
No, Sarah. None of this would have happened if you didn't decide to dick around with Littlefoot by swimming in the lake, washing off the stinkweed, getting discovered by Sharpteeth, being chased by the Sharpteeth, and being attacked and almost killed. All for the sake of pissing him off.
You're just slowing me down. You all are.
Littlefoot's right. All of you guys have either been uncharacteristically stupid or just plain dickish for the sake of being a dick. So, yeah, I'm with Littlefoot on this one. Fuck all of you guys. Except for Spike. Spike's cool.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Who needs friends to slow you down?
Oh good, we have another song. And unlike the first two songs, which had some semblance of originality to them, this one they just ripped straight out of the 6th movie.
I'm just fine on my own. When you're on your own, life is so exciting. I guess I'm better off alone. It's kind of lonely when you're on your own.
Here, I'll save you all the trouble. He wants to be alone, he's sad actually, moving on. Ah! It's the Mummy 2017! Run before Tom Cruise catches you! So Littlefoot is able to escape the sandstorm, where he meets a pterodactyl named Edna, voiced by...
Don't tell me you're thinking about going back out there. That's a sand cloud, in case you didn't notice.
Reba McEntire. So I'm guessing it's safe to assume that Reba McEntire is just going to be playing as Reba McEntire, which Reba McEntire often does?
Nope, not dead. You still got time to grow up and learn to listen. You know, I had a cousin who was nice like that. She put her head in the mouth of a sharp tooth just to help a friend. Of course, she's not around anymore because, well, she put her head in the mouth of a sharp tooth. I had a sister once used to say, just when things get darkest, that's when you look for the light. Unless, of course, it's too dark to find it.
Yep, thought so. I'm just going to call her Reba McEntire. So everyone survives the sandstorm okay, but Petrie is separated and is discovered by these little guys, leading to a very surprising scene.
No, Petrie.
Man, I wish. No, they just make him their leader. Prepare the virgin sacrifice! Yay!
You can't be their leader. Me think me can. You don't even know how to be a leader. Oh, it's no hard.
I think I found the perfect allegory for Donald Trump's presidency. So because Sarah finally realizes how much of a cunt she's been, she and the others decide to go find Littlefoot, and Petrie has to give up his leadership. And as enjoyable as those little guys were, really, they didn't add a thing to the story at all. We'd never seen them again, so all of that was, again, virtually filler and just completely pointless whatsoever. But it did make me laugh, though. Hard. So a plot-convenient earthshake happens, trapping Littlefoot and Reba McEntire in the cave. Littlefoot is worried about his friends, but Reba McEntire is able to cheer him up. How? With a song, of course, because if you have Reba McEntire in your movie, you gotta have her sing. Even though you have Bernadette Peters in the 10th movie, and she didn't sing at all.
Look for the light, one little spark, a little bit of hope to lead you out of the dark. Somewhere deep inside of you, it's shining so bright.
You know, I just realized something, guys. This is the first Land Before Time movie to have 4 songs in it. They always had 3 up until this point, but this one here has 4. Now I'm fine with that, as this song, it sounds like Reba herself wrote it, and if that's the case, then this is easily the best song we've ever gotten out of these sequels, because it's actually pretty damn good. So Sarah and the others are still looking for Littlefoot when they come across a Sharptooth. But not just any kind of Sharptooth, it's a Carnotaurus of all kinds. He's scary now, but just wait until Fallen Kingdom. That's gonna be awesome. So after getting some help from Reba McEntire and after some more god-awful CGI, Sarah and the others are finally reunited with Littlefoot.
I'm sorry, Littlefoot. Me too.
So, you two gonna hook up yet? I mean, y'all been hanging at this for like 14 movies, so... Y'all gonna fuck or what?
Jump! The water's great!
It's like a ride in an amusement park!
You mean like at Universal Studios? Cha-ching!
Littlefoot, you might not like what you see.
Now, look, I'm all for the suspension of disbelief. You know, we gotta have our happy ending, Land for Time movie made for little kids, whatever. But they still have to be within the realm of plausibility, okay? This looks like bullshit. In fact, this entire rescue is bullshit. And here's why. Number 1, they steal the water flooding thing from the third movie, which would basically steam roast them all. Number 2, they break an ugly CGI tree, which rolls in a way it shouldn't. Number 3, they can walk across the molten rock without it hurting them. And number 4, Brian just jumps the gap like it's nothing. Why the fuck didn't you do that before, you lazy deadbeat? Also, where the fuck is Shorty? Did you abandon him too? Meanwhile, while all of that is going on, Grandpa and the others are still looking for the kids when a Sharptooth appears and Wild Arms almost gives them away.
He's gone.
Gee, that was really convenient. Again.
You hear that? He's gone! He's gone! Isn't that great?
Can we just, like, feed him to the Sharptooth? I mean, like, real, I don't think anyone's gonna notice or care. Because this is the last movie, and it's almost over, and... yeah, and on a high note, guys. So Littlefoot is finally reunited with his father, Grandpa Longneck and the others show up, they all go back together to the Great Valley, where they all live happily ever after, and I can finally live happily ever after saying that I finally did it! I finally fulfilled my promise! I reviewed all of the Land Before Time sequels, and what do I think about the last movie? Meh. There isn't really much that I can say about this one other than I got exactly what I expected out of a Land for Time sequel at this point. Really, it's funny given the fact that despite the writers having 9 years to come up with something new, they didn't. This is exactly the same standard, boring formula that I've come to expect out of this movie. The kids ignore their parents to go on some mission or adventure or whatever, to either find something, save someone, or whatever. They do it. They have a happily ever after. They learn some kiddie message. They sing songs. There's some decent animation there that's good for TV grade, whatever. Yeah, it's what I expect at this point. There really isn't that much to talk about. The only things that really stand out about this movie are certain points, like, for example, Wild Arms is a dick. But with that being said, he's not in it for that long. There's only like maybe 2 or 3 scenes in the movie where I really wanted him to fuck off, and that's about it. Then there's also Sarah, who's being a bit of a bitch, but that's kind of expected from her at this point. Chomper and Ruby are pointless. You could have cut them out of the movie. Even though they were in the show, you could have cut them out. Nothing would have been missed whatsoever. Especially given the fact that there was so much of the original franchise they just retconned. Like, there's no Trisha, there's no Tria, there's no fucking Shorty, none of that. So, yeah. I don't think anyone would have missed Chomper and Ruby that much. But aside from that, there really isn't that much to say about this one. It's exactly what you expect. Personally, I think it's harmless. It does have a few scenes that made me laugh ironically, and the Reba McEntire song was actually kind of nice. So, take that for what it's worth. I think it's harmless. A nice, fine, okay, run-of-the-mill, exactly what you would expect sequel out of this franchise at this point. So if you're curious enough to watch Journey of the Brave, then, yeah, I say it's perfectly fine. Check it out if you still have some faith in the franchise. Which, speaking of the franchise, it's time to finally do what I've been building this up for a long time. It's time to take a look at my list, from the worst to the best, of the Land for Time sequels. Let's begin. Number 14, number 13, number 13, 9, number 12, 12, number 11, 11, number 10, 4, number 9, 14, number 8, 7, number 7, 2, number 6, 5, number 5, 6, number 4, 8, number 3, 10, number 2, 3, and number 1, the original. Because, yeah, the original is fucking great. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, there is one lesson you can take from watching this pile of Cretaceous coprolite.
Really? And what would that be?
Stick with the original.
Of course you want to stick with the original. Hell, why would you watch any of these sequels before you watch the original? Hell, why would you watch any of these sequels in general? I mean, okay, if you want to watch some of these sequels, that's fine. Some of them are harmless. You can watch them if you want to. But me personally, I'm just going to stick with the original and say, fuck these sequels. I mean, God, the original is just such a fucking good movie in general. Like, the animation is perfect. It was created by one of the greatest animators of all time, Don fucking Bluth. The color palette, the gritty looking tone to it, it just looks so good. The characters are just so distinct and memorable and relatable. Even the ones that kind of nag a lot, like Sarah, you could feel what she was going through. You know, she wasn't just nagging and being a dick just for the sake of it. No, she was genuinely relatable, and you could feel her pain. You could feel where she was coming from. You saw where she was coming from. The fucking adult messages like racism, tragedy, death, all that kind of stuff. This movie had such a respect for its audience. It is so admirable, this movie is. It's just, oh my god. The fight between Littlefoot's mom and the Sharptooth, one of the best fight scenes in animation I can think about. Like, when I think about animated fight scenes, that pops into my mind right away. Right up there with Hiccup fighting the Red Death and How to Train Your Dragon. It's just a fucking awesome... Wait a minute. You're trying to convince me to review the original Land for Time movie, aren't you? After I said I wouldn't.
Well, Bob sure reviewed all 14 Land for Time films, so it only seems fitting that you would review the first one for completionist's sake.
No! I already made it clear in my Great Valley Adventure review that I'm not reviewing the original because it's just so good. It's too good. What am I supposed to say about it? Am I supposed to just talk about how fucking good it is the whole time? Because, honestly, that'd be really boring. I like to make fun of shit. I like tearing shit apart. That's what makes good, funny content. It's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. I like watching people tear shit apart, even if it's a really good movie that, honestly, might have a little flaw here or there that needs to be pointed out. What am I saying? No, the original movie is perfect. It's perfect, goddammit, and I'm not reviewing it, and there's nothing you can do that can talk me into it.
Either review this or this.
Okay, you talked me into it, but on 3 conditions. 1, other people also want me to review the original Land Before Time movie. The original, Don Bluth made Land Before Time movie. Number 2, you guys can't get mad at me if I nitpick a little too much, because I have to say something about the original movie. And number 3, I get to review something else before the Land for Time movie, because I'm just so fucking fatigued with the Land for Time franchise as a whole that, honestly, I need to take a break from it. So, if those 3 conditions are fulfilled, I will review the original Land Before Time movie. Satisfied? That make you happy, Chris? Do we have a deal? We have a deal. Awesome. Good. That means it's over. It's finally over, guys. It's fucking finally over. Yes, after all this time, I have reviewed all the Land Before Time sequels. My promise has been fulfilled. My destiny has been fulfilled. Yes! Oh, sweet freedom! The light of freedom! Yes! Bask me in your glow and your warmth! Yes! Yes, shine in the camera! Shine so bright J.J. Abrams would be jealous of that brightness! Oh, baby! Yeah! Oh my god, that's fucking awesome. Oh my god, it's finally over. But yeah. It's finally over. Alright. So, that being said, my name is Razorblade, and as always, rock on. And thank you all so much for your patience, and for sticking with me this long. I really do appreciate it. So sincerely, this time, truly, rock on.
I got